they are talking some noise about First Take. We all saw First Take come back and they had to bump in the ratings. So everybody starts, going from there. Hey, Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, can we get a reunion? All that kind of stuff. Can we get that crack-a-lack-a-mackin' again? Well, somebody wrote a scathing article about it. Anyone remember Skip's ratings on FS1 after Shannon Sharpe left the show? God dang, dog. Who is Sean Keeley? I mean, he just started off with the ether beat. All right, so he said before last week's Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith reunion on First Take, I wrote a piece about how this was an exercise in anti-nostalgia. Not a Skip Bayless fan, I see. Everyone remembers that Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless used to yell at one another every morning on ESPN, but no one could tell you anything about what they yelled about. That's a lie. I know they yelled about Tebow. I remember that. They yelled about LeBron. That's when Stephen A. was kind of, just by the role of the show, he had to stick up for LeBron, right? I remember all that. Oh, yeah, don't keep me going. I could go there. There are no iconic moments. Oh, don't do that. No memes from that era continue to populate social media platforms or Slack channels. Well, it was the day one of social media. Stop that. There isn't a single debate, take, or zinger that has stood the test of time. It was all ephemeral nonsense. You're a lie. You're a lie. The best moment in sports media history happened on that show. When Jalen Rose walked on that show and called Skip Bayless Water Pistol, what do you call him? Water Pistol Pete? Water Pistol Skip Pete? I'm making this dude's point. I don't even remember what he said. I do remember that was my favorite moment ever. Oh, he said, hey, how many points you average, Skip, in high school, huh? High school, huh? Jesus. Not everyone was a fan of that column. And I wasn't a fan of it. I didn't even read it. And there was some fairness to the criticism that I hadn't accounted for the demographic of the show's initial success. Folks who disagreed with my sentiments got to take a victory lap, as it was reported, as I just said, 44% jump in viewership compared to the comparable episode last year. First Take averaged 647,000 viewers, a 24% increase from the show's average viewership. As soon as the show ended, ESPN, not so subtly, sent out the signal that Bayless will be back. And while I offer them my congratulations on turning his First Take return into a rating success, I regret to inform them that bringing him back with any regularity is still a big mistake. Okay, he doubling down. I like that. Because maybe the first shot didn't hit you, but he said, there's more in the clip. ESPN, Smith, and Skip were able to craft a great narrative with the reunion, hyping it up perfectly. But the thing to remember is that at the end of the day, not a lot of people actually like Skip Bayless. I know. I should have learned my lesson from last time, but anyone that's followed sports media over the past 2 decades has to admit that when the pomp and circumstance falls away, audiences remember that they don't actually enjoy watching Skip, even if he is very good at whatever it is he does. Damn, this dude don't like Skip. It's kind of dope. Like, everybody got to like you. I just want to know why. There's a reason Undisputed wasn't a legitimate challenger to First Take. Wow. I'm going to have to click on these another day. And do you remember Skip's ratings on FS1 after Shannon Sharpe left the show? Wow. Do you remember what Jordan did without Pippen? You know what I'm saying? We're doing that now. Oh, my God. Well, we don't. The Wizards. Okay. Do you know anyone who watched or would admit to having done so? A little bit of Skip Bayless goes a long way in making you wish he'd go away. That's a line. A little bit of Skip Bayless goes a long way in making you wish he'd go away. Damn, he wrote that. The next time he comes back, he won't have the promotional juggernaut behind him. And the novelty will have worn off. The ratings won't be as great. And they'll dip even further in the time after that. Pretty soon, people will start wondering why this 74-year-old keeps showing up to yell about LeBron James before changing the channel or moving on to the next video. Damn. I mean, way to keep it. What's beyond 1,000? Wow, this is next level. Bayless built up a lot of goodwill by disappearing from relevance and yelling into the abyss for a few years before ESPN's reclamation job last week. Whew. That's especially impressive considering he was named in a. It is no surprise to realize this reunion was always going to be the first of many returns. It will also not be a surprise when the bloom falls off that rose in record time. Goodness. All right, what's behind that? All right, I mean, look, there's a lot of ways to kill somebody, right? You can kill them in their sleep, and you be like, they didn't even feel it. You can kill them right, come here. Pow! Right, you know what I mean? There's a lot of ways to get rid of somebody, you know? You can hit them with some medicine, you can hit them with the dope, you get them. Why you want to get skipped this way? There's a resentment in the media because a lot of people got caught in that fork in the road. And Skip Bayless made one side very bold and very clear that if you were into the hot takes, if you were into the pompous talk, if you were into like killing athletes, if you were, there was a road. And this road was a yellow brick road to success. There was a pot of gold at the end of that road. And those who traveled it saw the pot of gold. That's when hot takes were really hot. You know, that's when it was like, I'm not talking about a person. I'm talking about an athlete, a baller. You know, those 0.01 percenters. And who likes a 0.01 percenter? We don't even like 1 percenters, let alone a 0.01 percenter. And Skip just ran with this whole animus that this whole collective had in resentment that never had expression. I'm over here talking right now. I don't know if y'all keeping up with me. There was a lot of people who didn't like athletes, and I give it to you personally. There were people in my neighborhood who were mad that I lived in their neighborhood because I am 23, and I got a house next to you, and you 53. And it took you 27 years to save up to finally move here, and then here I show up with a convertible Hummer, 415s in the back playing Master P. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Having parties every other weekend, and they're not even parties. It's just a gang of teammates coming over to kick it, and they got friends. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I mean, I'm 51 right now. I'm not even 53. If that happened to me right now, one of these YouTubers moved up, I'm like, and they scattered around here. And they had one of them have a party every month at the top of this hill, like cross over there. I'm like, and one time I wanted to go so bad. I'm like, I gotta go to one of these parties because he having one every month. Goodness. There's a resentment. Like there was a resentment for athletes. There still is, but now we got so many outlets and expressions, it ain't bottled up. But back in 2008, everybody hated it. I'm tired of this. How much money they make and they're complaining? And then here goes Skip saying, yeah. Then he grabbed the biggest thing we had, which is LeBron James, and tore him down. Simple as that. Simple as that. So that's how the game went. Beat up in the comments. We're going to talk through that. Become a gym member with Project Transition. As a giver every month, small gifts have a big impact in creating real change. Not only will you transform lives, you'll also win and unlock once-in-a-lifetime experiences. Join me, Marcellus Wiley, in making a real impact through Project Transition, a global giving community dedicated to uplifting underserved youth with mentorship, education, and access to real opportunities. Your donation doesn't just enter you to win unforgettable prizes and exclusive experiences with myself and other gym members. It fuels our mission to empower the next generation of leaders, dreamers, and game changers. From after-school programs, life skills camps, and career development, every dollar helps unlock potential where it's needed most and where every person makes a world of difference. Give back, win big, be the difference, be greater than your greatest excuse. Support Project Transition today. Become a gym member and help turn obstacles into opportunities. Oh, that wasn't enough? Y'all want some more? Well, check out the link in my bio, Hydration Situation Live. Blah, blah, blah.
Right. I'm glad he said that. No one chooses football. Football chooses you. It's so crazy people still stuck in Patrick Mahomes in the offense. I'm like, do you see these numbers? Marcellus Wiley on the rocks.
It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not hyperbole here.
Because I believe the purpose.
Time to hydrate. Hydration situation. So.